Hello and welcome back to my Unity development log series for Colonise. I decided this time to focus on getting a system set up to randomly generate a number of planets on the grid with different colour schemes and models. Here you can see me designing a new planet model in Blender, and in a minute I'm going to set up a UV map so that instead of using multiple materials for each object, which is slow and costly for the shaders, we can simply pick the right colour from a 2x2 image. I also implemented the same UV map system for the home planet with a 4x4 grid instead, as there are more different colours on that planet. And here you can see me setting up the 2x2 image file and UV mapping the relevant places in the grid. I then created a simple function to generate a number of planets, which is a variable that we can set in the Unity editor. It also adds the home planet, which is always going to be in the middle of the grid. This kind of means that we should ideally keep the grid to be an odd number, otherwise it will end up on the end of a line rather than actually in the middle, but that's fine. We can use a 5x5 or a 7x7 in these initial testing purposes. It then loops through each position on the grid and checks to see if the randomly determined position has a planet already, and if it doesn't, then it creates one of the two new planet models that I just created. When creating these, they are attached with this procedural planet script, which randomly determines a material and a size for the object, and then there's just 10 different materials that are currently being sampled in, so it could end up with any one of those 10. I also intend to add extra models so that there's 10 different models of planet and 10 different colours, 3 different sizes, for a total of 300 different possible combinations. Back in the Unity editor, you can see the 10 different colour schemes for each of the procedurally generated planets are here set up as materials. They are just sampling from the relevant PNG file, which is just a 4x4 image that we created earlier. The home diffuse is very similar, but it's just a 4x4 image rather than a 2x2, as there are more colours on that home planet. In the game controller, I upped the grid size to 7x7, and there won't be this many planets close together in the actual game, but just so we can see an idea of the randomization, I'll turn the amount of planets up for now to 25, and let's hit play. So you can see that the planets are randomly placed, and this will be different every time. The home planet is always in the centre. Each of the other planets, and this name by the way is just the colour scheme that it's using for now as a temporary debug tool. They're all created with different colour schemes and one of the two types. So you can see here the size of this planet 6 is different to this planet 6, and the model is also different. This one being more spiky and this one having the weird pylons that sort of were created. So yeah, you can see the randomization there, and if I just hit play again, they're all in different positions this time and with differently selected properties. Now that we've got a random network of planets generated in the grid, it's time to get them to actually do something. So next time I'll be working on extending the on-screen GUI and adding options to the planets and maybe some stats like health or different units that they can produce or buildings that they have on them. These will be visibly represented in the models, things like buildings, but there will be here like a specific type of building might make a specific type of ship, such as this mining shuttle I've been working on in Blender. It's not perfect yet, but it's good for now. And I intend to have different types of ships that can collect resources, along with, of course, attacking ships and that sort of thing. But for now, I think this mining shuttle is the first one that will make it into the game, and hopefully it will be able to travel to and from nearby planets to collect metal and ore from them. That's all for this week, folks. Feel free to hit the like button, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It's much appreciated. I also just started work on a 2D card game called Flower, so I'll be bringing a development log series about that running alongside this one. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.